This is a hard video to make. Look, this isn't Zayn, this is Efren. The guy behind the camera who usually has a lot of problems on his hands, who has so much stress and who has depression and anxiety, who almost killed himself back in the 90s when he was in his 20s. Seeing this situation with Logan Paul really upset me. And for the last week or so, I have been already suffering from more normal depression than usual. I mean, it hasn't affected me to the point where I wouldn't get out of my damn bed. But it's upsetting for someone who is suffering from depression and anxiety that things aren't going exactly the way they hoped for it. I didn't really have any relatives this Christmas because they were all working. They could not be with me. They said Merry Christmas. This New Year's the same thing. Relatives were pretty much busy. They had to work. And being someone who's disabled, who's injured, who has depression and anxiety, who goes to a psychologist, went to a psychiatrist one time, I'm doing a psychologist now, who goes through stuff like this and who almost killed himself back in the 90s, to hear what this idiot did is beyond ridiculous. Look, a lot of people don't understand when it comes to large YouTubers. When they got sponsors make it very clear certain things they're not supposed to do. Particularly going to Abahadra. I think that's the name of the forest in Japan. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry if I'm pronouncing it incorrectly. But the authorities that you ask to show you where the place to go, and there are people that basically watch this forest, and they tell you, look, you go there, don't film anybody if the off chance someone is literally deceased in the forest, because it's been known commit suicide, like the Golden Gate Bridge in California, or I believe California, or what is it, San Francisco. I can't remember where the bridge is. People have a tendency to jump off that damn bridge because they can't stand it anymore, because it seems to be something that draws them. This is not much of a different situation. And the government tells you, please do not film the people. Don't bother the body. Call the authorities. Leave the forest. And this dickwad did not do that. I do not understand why this man did not do that. And for someone like me who, back in 98, I was suffering so badly with my wife at the time. We both had bad issues. She had bipolarism with possible schizophrenia. She actually had to go to the hospital because she basically had a nervous breakdown due to the fact we were taking care of her and my son, her younger sister's children, her older sister's children, and we were fighting constantly because of the children and our own issues. And for me, with all that stress, I finally came to the point where I couldn't stand it anymore. And if anyone has ever been in Manhattan, lived in Manhattan, and if you go near Fort Washington in Manhattan, around 155th Street, there is a overpass for the train that goes for, I believe, for Amtrak. I can't remember, or for, not Amtrak, but for Metro North, I believe. And there is a overpass where you can literally see down to the tracks. And it's like about 100-foot drop. I almost killed myself. I literally was climbing over the freaking railing when, for me personally, the Great Spirit and my ancestors told me, no, do not do it. If you're a Christian, you can say God, Jesus, or the angel stopped you. For me, it was my ancestors and the Great Spirit that said, no, do not do it, because I would have jumped. As people who know me back then, they didn't know what was going on with my stress. So when I see this man who reached a point where he had nothing left and there was no one there to say, no, stop, and he hung himself, it upsets me seriously. But then worse yet, this freaking dickwad who, he literally on purpose, I know a lot of people can say, dude, And when you're confronted by something like that, there's a very good chance you don't know what else to do but to vlog. No. No. There are points where sensibility does work. As a YouTuber myself, sometimes you want to blog whatever's in front of you. Sometimes you want to film whatever's in front of you, not because you want to get clicks, but you want to show what's going on in your life. You want to show what's going on. If I was able to go to the arenas and watch wrestling, which would be difficult for me because of my injury. I can't sit for long periods of time. If I stand, I can't do it for long periods of time. And because of my anxiety and depression, I'm terrified that someone will bang into me, I hit the floor, and I will hurt myself severely. For me, those are my fears. These are the things I'm stuck with. But I'm mindful of whenever I'm in the street, whenever I have to walk. Sometimes if you have the urge to film something, you don't do it no matter how terrified or shocked or surprised or happy you want to be. Sometimes you must see it. And there are a lot of YouTubers who understand that concept. And then on top of that, when it comes to this man, he was already probably warned by the people who maintain the forest or nearby the forest, because things like this happen. Nearly 1,000 people, they say in Abahadra, I believe that's the name of it. People die there yearly, so the police there are available. They tell people when to go and film in there, look, you go in there, there's a possibility you will find a body. Please do not film the body. Do not touch the body. The minute you find the body, please come to us and notify us. And this man did not do any of it. And anyone else who was with him should have told him, dude, we got to leave. Turn this off. We got to go. They didn't do that. And no matter how much people are going to say, well, ignorant Americans. No. Even in America, you find a freaking dead body, there is a point where you do not film it. People who do film it gives it to TMZ. Or gives it to the police. Or gives it to them. They don't put it on freaking YouTube. They give it to the authorities that are necessary. Or if they're stupid enough, they put it on YouTube or put it to TMZ. When they shouldn't be doing something like that. In this situation, it was wrong. 100% wrong. The guy pulled the video down already. There are YouTubers who are already chewing his ass out. The Anime Man. I see Joey the Anime Man. I've seen Aki Dearest. I've seen Lost Pause. These are YouTubers that, they're not wrestling related, but I like watching them because they make some funny content. And I see all three of them releasing videos on this situation. The Anime Man is a Japanese man. Lost Pause is a basic white man. And Aki Dearest is Filipino. And all three of them agreed this was not right. And they were very upset about it. And someone who's mixed like me, who's mixed with a whole bunch of things, who almost committed suicide back in the 90s, who suffers from depression, who suffers from anxiety, seeing that a person who probably is mentally functional, who probably doesn't have any type of mental illness or any type of problems, is willing to film somebody for the hell of it or for getting clicks. It is disgusting. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say, dude, you don't understand. And maybe I don't. Maybe if I'm in that situation, maybe I might do the same thing. But I wouldn't release it on YouTube. If I had filmed the damn thing, I wouldn't have released it on YouTube, and everyone picks it up, including TMZ. You know how I saw the actual death of this man? Through TMZ. They showed it on one of the other websites, another website that's connected to it. I saw it. It doesn't show the man made a mistake. It shows the man had no humanity. Humanity is one of the things people don't understand. When you're a human being, there's certain things you're supposed to do and certain things you're not supposed to do by current society of the 21st century. And that is a big no-no. Is he going to keep getting views on his channel? Oh, hell yeah. Been to his channel. He apologized, and there's like about 400,000 views on it. For him apologizing. From what I understand, there's at least about 20,000 likes on it. I'm sorry. The man didn't just make a serious mistake. He made a mistake that, not even a mistake. He was heartless, callous, and highly disrespectful to humanity. And anyone who agrees with him, what are you thinking? What? Do you actually think it was right what he did to release it on YouTube? He could have just explained what happened like I am, showing no images. I put images on my wrestling videos from what I get from SmackDown, Raw, TNA. I don't do ROH, but any wrestling review I do, I give images so people can really get a good visualization of what's going on. This man didn't have to show any of the footage. He could have just said this was horrible, and that would have been the end of it. He did that on purpose. He has no humanity. Period. And anyone who agrees with him or even says, well, if he's sorry, I'm okay with it, you really need to evaluate yourself as a human being. Because there is a point where you make a choice. Good or bad. In his case, it was incredibly bad. But this is just this is really upsetting. But this is the point of view of someone who almost committed suicide. Who, if he had succeeded, would not be here right now. And been working 6 years on YouTube. Yeah, doing simple wrestling reviews that don't mean a damn to anyone. But at least he wants to do something with himself. He wants to have an outlet. He wants to believe in himself. That's just me. Take care of yourselves. And if you got problems, get help. Talk to your family. Talk to some authorities. Talk to a psychiatrist, psychologist. Talk to someone. Because I've been there. I didn't talk to anyone. I almost died. I almost died. And it was because the Great Spirit and my ancestors did not want me to die. Take care.